Chapter 22. It was a slow night at Santos, and Tony had only 4 pizzas to deliver. He was alone. Daisy discouraged Woody from any more pizza runs, and Tony did not offer. Woody was at home, supposedly doing his homework. Daisy was pulling a late shift at the restaurant. Their stepfather had not been home in weeks, as if he was avoiding all the drama. The first delivery was to a student duplex near Stratton College, a street Tony knew well. He carried a pepperoni supreme to the front door, knocked and waited. It was a typical overcrowded student place with bikes chained to the front railings and empty beer cans scattered through the neglected flower beds. The door opened and a pretty co-ed asked him to step inside. He did so, handed her the pizza, and waited as he fetched the money. A college boy walked through the den and said hello. Tony waited, part of the routine of delivering a pizza. From the back hallway, Garth Tucker appeared and said, "Hey Tony, what's up?" "Not much. What are you doing here?" Tony was surprised to see him, but not startled. Seniors at Strattonburg High were known to visit friends at the college. Still, bumping into him on a pizza run on a random weeknight was too much of a coincidence. "Friends of mine. I hang out here sometimes." The two saw each other at school occasionally, but rarely spoke. Since their arrest, they had tried to avoid each other. Tony especially wanted nothing to do with Garth. The girl returned to the den and handed Tony a 20. He pulled change out of his pocket and gave it to her. Garth said, "Hey Tony, you got a minute? I need to discuss something with you." "What's there to discuss?" "And I have 3 more pizzas to deliver." "There's a small patio out back, just the 2 of us. Won't take but a minute." Tony looked around and didn't like the setting. He heard other male voices in the rear of the apartment. The girl was gone, as was the pizza. "What's on your mind?" "It's private, Tony. Let's step outside." Tony could handle Garth in a fist fight, but he wasn't sure how many others might decide to join in. Cautiously, he followed Garth into the kitchen, where he saw no one, and through the rear door into a brick patio. A dim yellow bulb provided the only light. Tony looked around to make sure it wasn't an ambush. Garth seemed nervous but sincere. He said, "Look, first things first. I did a dumb thing and got us all busted. My bad. I was drunk and I pulled a boneheaded move. But I'm not drinking now. I've quit and I'm behaving myself. I'm still in trouble though, and I need some help. My lawyer says you guys don't want to play along with our line of defense. I wish you would. It would help me tremendously. We're not lying in court, Garth, if that's what you're asking. You know perfectly well what happened, and you're just trying to change the facts. Sorry." Okay. I'm not here to argue, Tony. That's not going to help us. There's a way out of this mess if we can all stick together." "You mean if there's a way out for you? Pin the blame on us, or especially on Woody because he's 13, and you get to walk. We're not stupid, Garth. You may have a big-shot lawyer, but it's obvious what's going on. The answer is no. We're not walking into a courtroom and lying. That'll only make matters worse." Garth kept his cool and showed no signs of anger. No one else appeared in the kitchen. As the minutes passed, the situation looked less and less like an ambush. "Do you realize what a felony conviction does to me, Tony? It means I'll go to jail, maybe for years, and my life is ruined. No college, no career, no nothing. Why can't you guys help me here?" "Because we're innocent and you're not. That's simple." "Simple? Here's what's simple." Garth reached into an inside pocket of his jacket, and for a second Tony's heart skipped a beat. Then he whipped out an envelope and said, "This is $5,000 cash, Tony. All yours. Just go with our story and keep the money. Think of how much your family could use this money." Tony was stunned and took a step back. Garth pressed ahead. "Come on, Tony, it's cash. Can't be traced. And it's all yours. Yours and Woody. You can do with whatever you want. Just agree to stick to our little story and help me out. The money is yours." Tony had never known anyone with $5,000 cash in their pockets, especially a high school student. He stared at the envelope, shook his head in disbelief, and said, "You gotta be kidding." "Do you really think I'm kidding here, Tony? My future is on the line and I need your help. You need the money, I need a favor." Tony took another step back and said, okay, let me think about this. If Woody and I play along, then we admit to some guilt. That means we could go back to jail, right? You're headed back to jail anyway because you busted probation with the drinking, at least according to my lawyer. Maybe, but that's no big deal, according to my lawyer. Tony was certain that Garth's lawyer was far more experienced than Rodney Wall, but Wall was all he had. Garth smiled and tried to seem relaxed. Just a couple of pals. Look, Tony, let's not argue, okay? You're right, I'm wrong. But there's a way out for everybody here. Maybe you get a weekend in jail, maybe some time for Woody, but nothing serious. And you've got a pocket full of cash to ease the pain. Bribing a witness sounds like a pretty serious crime to me. Garth returned the envelope to his pocket and said, I know nothing about a bribe. Just think about it, Tony. We've got a few days, but not many. I need to deliver some pizzas. And that's the end of chapter 22.